All right, let's talk about time, but probably not in the way you're used to. What if I told you that the average human life, well, it boils down to about 4,000 weeks? In this explainer, we're going to unpack that number, and trust me, it might just completely change how you see your days.
So there it is, 4,000, just sitting there on the screen. And I get it, right? Seeing it like that, it kind of feels like a punch to the gut. Like some cosmic countdown clock just started ticking loud enough for you to hear. But hang on, this isn't about scaring you. It's actually the opposite. Just stick with me here.
You see, the whole point of this number isn't to make you panic. It's to get real about the fact that our time is finite. And here's the secret. That limitation isn't a problem we need to solve. No, it's the starting line for actually living a life that matters.
Okay, so let's dive into the first big idea, this trap of false productivity. Our whole culture is obsessed with time management, isn't it? We're taught to see time as this thing to be conquered, to be optimized down to the last second. But what if that whole approach is just a giant trap?
And you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's called the efficiency trap. You've totally been there. You work like crazy to clear your inbox. You hit inbox 0, and for what? Like 30 seconds you feel this amazing sense of calm. And then, ping, another email, and another. All your efficiency did was clear the runway for more stuff to land. It's like being on a treadmill, and the faster you run, the faster the belt moves beneath you. It is absolutely exhausting.
This right here breaks down the whole delusion of modern productivity. The myth we're all sold is that one day, if you just find the right app or the perfect system, you'll finally get on top of it all. You'll catch up. But the reality? The to-do list never ever ends. So the most liberating thing you can do isn't to find a new hack. It's to just accept this one simple, powerful truth. You will never get it all done. And embracing that, well, that's where true freedom begins.
So if the whole productivity game is rigged, what are we supposed to do? Well, this is where things get really interesting. Let's talk about the freedom of finitude. It's a total mindset shift. Because what if the problem isn't that we don't have enough time? What if the real problem is that we refuse to face up to the time we do have? What if our limits, our 4,000 weeks, aren't a weakness, but actually our greatest strength?
You know, this isn't some brand new idea. The philosopher Seneca was all over this centuries ago. But there's a modern twist to this. We think if we could just stop wasting time, we'd have enough time to do everything we want. But the hard truth is, we never had enough time to do everything in the first place. Not even close.
And this is the real cost of fighting that reality. When we try to do it all, when we refuse to commit because we want to keep all our options open, we end up becoming like ghosts in our own lives. We're just floating through, skimming the surface of everything, never really diving deep into anything. All because we're so terrified of missing out on some other possibility.
It's a huge paradox when you think about it. If we had infinite time, would any choice really matter? Nope. You could just put it off forever. There'd be no urgency. It's the fact that the clock is ticking that gives our choices weight and meaning. Those constraints, our finitude, that's not a bug. It's the feature. It's what gives life its shape. It's what makes it precious.
Okay, that's all great in theory, but how do we actually do this? How do we live with our limits? Well, this next part is all about that. It's about choosing your watermelons. And this is not about giving up or being lazy. It's the exact opposite. It's about getting really, really intentional with your time.
First, let's talk about procrastination. Because guess what? You can't beat it. It's gonna happen. In fact, by being here with me right now, you are procrastinating on something else, aren't you? So the trick isn't to stop procrastinating, it's to procrastinate well. It's about deliberately choosing what you are going to ignore. You let the unimportant stuff slide, not by accident, but on purpose.
So, how do you decide what to neglect and what to focus on? Well, there's a really simple metaphor for this that I think you'll find super helpful.
Think of your life as being full of grapes and watermelons. The grapes, those are the small, easy tasks. Answering an email, running an errand. You can just pick them off one by one, and it feels pretty satisfying, right? You feel productive. But the watermelons, those are the big things. The projects that actually shape your life. Learning a new skill, writing a book, raising a child. You can't just squeeze a watermelon in. You need both hands. And here's the key. To pick up a watermelon, you have to put down the grapes.
So we all know about FOMO, the fear of missing out. This is about flipping that script. It's about JOMO, the joy of missing out, because there's this incredible feeling of relief when you finally make a real choice. When you decide, this is my watermelon, you are actively saying no to 1,000 other things. And that's not a failure. That is the very definition of a meaningful life. It's about depth, not width.
And that brings us right back to where we started, to that number. For so long, we've been asking the wrong question. We ask, how can I get more done? How can I fit more in? But that's the trap. The real question, the only one that truly matters, is this. Knowing that you must choose, what will you give your 4,000 weeks to?
Because in the end, this whole thing isn't about conquering time. It's about surrendering to it. It's about finally allowing yourself to be present in this one beautiful, messy, imperfect life that you actually have. To stop using today as just a dress rehearsal for some imaginary real life in the future. And to finally realize, this is it. This moment. This is your life. And it's happening right now.